KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
This was Danica Caprosi's last photo, taken on her 17th birthday, 3 days before she died of what her mother suspects was a fentanyl overdose.
However, until the toxicology results come back, neither her mother or Selma police are going to know for sure if it was a pill that she'd taken that was laced with that lethal opioid.
Over the summer, Hays County saw 3 teenagers die from fentanyl. Tonight, a Bexar County mother shares her emotional story with our Jesse Degollado.
This is her room, how she liked it.
It had been like a sanctuary for Veronica Caprosi's daughter, Danica, a beautiful, bubbly high school senior who considered someday being a mathematician or engineer, dreams that'll never be.
I found my daughter face down. Well, she had been gone for several hours. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Until her mother found a picture of some pills on Danica's phone. Her aunt says she recognized them from TV as ones that can be laced with the dangerous opioid fentanyl.
They put it out there. These kids they're curious.
Asked whether Danica had used them despite her mother's warnings.
Not that I'm aware of.
Danica's mom says working in this Mexican restaurant gave her daughter a sense of independence. She was earning her own money.
This is her little hallway.
Possibly, she says, the pills Danica may have taken. Her official cause of death is still pending.
I love this one the most.
Even so, the mother of a child who'd been this precious warns other parents.
You have to talk to your children about the what ifs. Just be more involved. Don't give them that privacy.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Other news now, TikTok. In just under an hour, we have the home opener for the Uvalde Coyotes. And this game is about so much more than just the sport, because this team is playing for the community, a place where support means everything after the Robb Elementary School shooting. RJ Marquez is live with some of the emotions surrounding this game.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. We are live at the Honey Bowl right now, and there are a lot of things happening. In fact, Eagle Pass Wind just played a video right now dedicating this game to the Uvalde Coyotes out here. And of course, we were at a pep rally earlier today where we spoke to a lot of different people, including one senior cheerleader who said that this was probably the most pressure that she's ever felt being on the sidelines. And that sort of speaks exactly to what the players are feeling themselves right now. But as others have been saying throughout the day, that no matter what the results here, this is all about bringing the community together, win or lose. And again, going back to that pep rally earlier today, it was at the Uvalde High School gym filled with teachers, players, coaches, cheerleaders, and the band, and of course parents as well taking part in this event. The football and volleyball teams got to speak about their excitement for the upcoming seasons and what it means to be a Coyote. That's right, the Coyotes. There was a moment of silence for the Robb Elementary School victims, along with a Uvalde Strong poster in the middle of that basketball gym. Generations of students and alums leaning on one another to celebrate tonight. Again, win or lose, here's what they had to say.
It's a really loving feeling just to see like the community unite and come together. You know, in years past, like the football games, like they've been kind of empty, so hopefully we have a full crowd tonight.
Supporting the kids that want to just kind of get back some normalcy and have some happiness. You know, it's just, I love that tonight we're all going to be together.
That we can get through things, that we are strong enough to survive. I think that's what it means to me.
All right, and you just heard right there from Jill Stoy. She was a senior back in 1972 and worked for the district for years, so she understands what it means to be a Uvalde Coyote. And again, that question to her, what does Uvalde Strong mean to you? It means survival and overcoming those obstacles. Steve and Stephania, back to you guys.
Like you so rightly said, RJ, a special game, win or lose for the Coyotes tonight. All right, let's switch over to weather right now. And are we still expecting rain showers for part of our holiday weekend?
Oh, definitely for parts of the weekend, for sure, especially ramping up through the day tomorrow. But out there right now, we don't really have a lot to talk about. One little shower just popped up in northwestern Frio County, and these have had a history of being very short-lived. I know we've got our crew out there, big game in Uvalde. So far, so good, and I don't anticipate any issues. I think lightning is unlikely to be affecting any of these games. And we do have an outflow boundary that's moving through Gonzales County, pushing westward into Guadalupe County and even Wilson County. There's the chance that could flare up another shower or two, but by and large, we're fairly dry out there. Rain chances just 10 to 20% here this evening to start. We're 93 degrees right now. You feel the stickiness in the air. We'll be down to 86 at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 83 degrees. So humid and warm, and what you'd expect this time of year. Not much of a breeze either. A calm wind right now. Rain chances really ramping up into the weekend, and I'll really help you plan out your Saturday and beyond coming right up.
Thank you, Adam. The idea is to keep babies safe. Should San Antonio use so-called baby boxes? In Texas, the safe haven law allows a parent to surrender a baby 60 days or younger to a hospital or fire station without facing prosecution. Well, now District 9 Councilman John Courage is trying to make that surrender process easier and safer for the baby with baby boxes. Our Alicia Barrera explains how it works and why it would protect the parent as well.
Recent restrictions to health care options for women in Texas inspired Councilman John Courage's latest proposal of a baby box.
There are a lot of challenges to a young person who has a child. If they're not prepared to have those challenges, what are they going to do with that child?
It's the idea of newborn safety devices installed at hospitals, police, and fire stations across San Antonio.
So there is a silent alarm inside the box where they put the baby in the receptacle, and it would be an obstacle between that mother and a trash can, that mother and a trash bag.
However, in this case, the mother would be able to drop off her unharmed infant without having to speak to a public safety official.
If it's done the way it's supposed to and that child is never harmed, there's no risk to the baby when it's done the way it should be done, then as far as I'm concerned, no crime has occurred.
You don't have to face that fear of what are they going to say or do to me, or that shame or humiliation that some people might feel about giving their baby up.
Even if this proposal receives full support from City Council, it would take more time to establish.
And it could take up to a year. The next step is for the city attorney to send a letter to the Attorney General's office to make sure that this baby box proposal doesn't contradict any state law. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
The San Antonio police need your help in finding a teenager who is considered at risk due to a medical condition. This is 16-year-old Kathleen Lubin. She was last seen on August 31st in the 16,000 block of Blanco Key near Madison High School. She's described as 5 feet 8 inches tall, wears glasses, has a nose piercing in her left nostril. Anyone with information on her whereabouts asked to call the SAPD Missing Persons Unit, 210-207-7660.
A San Antonio man is facing charges in connection with sex trafficking a 16-year-old girl across the state of Texas. Police arrested 37-year-old Sharon Hughes on Thursday, and according to the arrest affidavit, the case originated in Dallas, where police there found the teen. She told police she had met with Hughes in a hotel parking lot in San Antonio where they had unprotected sex. She then started working for Hughes, charging money for sex at various hotels. His bond is now set for $200,000.
We now know the name of a man who was shot dead inside an apartment. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying him as 20-year-old Fernando Menchaca. The shooting happened on Sunday night on East South Cross near South W.W. White Road on the southeast side. When police arrived, they found 2 men shot, one in the foot. Menchaca was shot in the chest. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police are still looking for the suspect.
Around Texas, 1 person is dead, 2 others injured after a small plane crash yesterday near Houston. Harris County officials say that plane was traveling from Tennessee and stopped to refuel in Louisiana. It was headed to an airport when it lost power around 5 p.m. That plane then crashed into a tree and fell between 2 mobile homes. Now, none of the people inside those mobile homes was hit. The 3 victims were all inside of that plane. Now, back here at home, we want to give you a live look at our roads right here. This is Loop 410 at Fredericksburg. And yeah, there is a healthy amount of traffic out there right now, but definitely not as slow going as we saw in the last hour near the downtown area. So it's a holiday weekend. We do expect traffic to definitely be touch and go all weekend long.
The work continues in and around the Alamo City. Now that we're in the month of September, there's a few spots you want to be aware of. Road closures that you can expect. So we're going to start here off U87, otherwise known as Rigsby Road. Striping operations are actually current, and you may have seen them already going on. But according to TxDOT, that will wrap up on Monday, September 19th. This will take place during the day, so 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Drivers expect some alternating lane closures in both directions from Roland Avenue to Loop 410. Let's head over to Loop 1604 over on the northwest side of San Antonio, where a lot of work continues to take place for Loop 1604. This time, the barriers that you've probably seen out there will be relocated on Thursday, September 8th. And according to TxDOT, that work should wrap up on September 15th. It's overnight, so those late night owls or early bird commuters plan ahead because it's from 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning. The eastbound entrance ramp closure will be there at La Cantera Parkway. Let's take one last look here at I-10 over on the east side of Bexar County, where barrier work will continue on Friday, September 9th, and that should wrap up on September 12th. But keep in mind, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect a full closure of the westbound main lanes from File Road to Loop 1604. But you know where to find that information. You can grab those phones, open your camera app, scan the QR code by hitting the center of your screen. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page, and that will have a list of all the closures taking place in and around the Alamo City.
Still coming up, August brought in thousands of new jobs. What this means for our economy as the Federal Reserve tries to fight inflation.
Labor Day weekend travel underway. The flights canceled so far. The travel concerns you need to know about.
Tonight on the Night Beat, the state health department is now working on the next steps when it comes to those updated COVID-19 booster shots. It does have a schedule on when those doses are set to come right here to Texas and when places like H-E-B and Walgreens are supposed to get their supply as well. So we'll have those details for you tonight on the Night Beat.
The travel industry looking to bounce back as the long holiday weekend kicks off. Cancellations and delays have been no stranger to those trying to hit the skies.
Right, our John Paul Barajas had some advice from the Transportation Safety Administration and spoke with travelers at the San Antonio airport who really have experienced a little bit of everything.
The Labor Day holiday kicks off today, but for the airport, business picked up Thursday as both yesterday and today are expected to be the busiest days of the long weekend. Those at the airport have experienced it all, from the worst case possible.
Rain in Dallas delayed it 2 hours because there's ground stoppage, and then plane arrived from Dallas delayed, and then there was the computer system crashed and they can't get it fixed today, and they have no backup planes. Just gonna stay home and not make the trip now.
To the bad.
Our flight's originally at 4:30 and now it's at 4:40, and then on the way here it's 4:55. So we're a little stressed out about that.
And the good.
Everything's been great. This is a great airport.
The busy travel weekend is still young and airlines are hopeful, but weather in our area could cause problems, according to Patricia Mancha with TSA.
There is a storm on the horizon. There's a tropical storm that's actually impacting travel. If you have flights out of San Antonio, out of DFW, connections, Houston, the state of Texas, and some of the surrounding states, weather may impact travel schedules.
About 55,000 flights have been canceled in the U.S. since the Friday before Memorial Day, according to a flight tracking site, FlightAware, and nearly a quarter of U.S. flights have been delayed just this summer. For those taking to the sky, TSA advises to show up to flights early and to know before you go to best plan around any obstacles that may come up. For those traveling by car, the national average for gas is $3.80. Here in Texas, it's slightly cheaper at $3.20. Although off of Bandera Road out of Valero, our Marilyn Moritz spotted gas for just $2.97 a gallon. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we want to take a live look outside. Sky 12 right now over the Kendall County Fairgrounds up in Bernie. 93 degrees right now.
Yeah, the fair kicks off this weekend.
Yeah, luckily no tropical system out there to affect us or get in the way, but we will have some showers developing otherwise, but no tropical activity that's headed our way or anywhere in the United States. All right, let's talk about our weather headlines here. Take a look at this. Mainly afternoon rain tomorrow. So if you want to make some outdoor plans or a tea time, the earlier the better on Saturday. Periods of rain then Sunday and Monday as well. We'll have some breaks in the action, of course. The highest amounts are likely to be south of Highway 90 overall when you add it up through the weekend. All right, this is the most important graphic for tomorrow to plan your day and any outdoor plans. Again, the earlier the better to get outside. Take a look at this. As we get into the afternoon, our rain chances significantly rise. We're talking by 2-3 o'clock, rain chances up to 60% at that point. That puts us in the more scattered to numerous category when it comes to the coverage of the showers and even heavy downpours. We'll have some embedded downpours on Saturday. Outside right now, not a whole lot of activity to talk about, just a few little blips on the radar screen here and there. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know if there's anything of importance and something to point out that could cause some delays for high school games. But right now, we're in the clear. Just a slim chance of more development out there this afternoon and evening. Here's our futurecast. Tomorrow, generally cloudy. And the first part of the day, I think, will mostly be dry. Notice by noon, our futurecast is starting to develop a few showers. And then afternoon is when the activity should become more widespread, more numerous, covering more parts of South and Central Texas. Of course, not hitting everybody and not raining everywhere all weekend. But it will be one of those situations where we've got more coverage than what we've had for several days, and about half to over half of our area should see some rainfall as we get into the afternoon and evening hours on your Saturday. And I know the Futurecast is showing these downpours in certain locations. They could really just be anywhere across our area, so don't pay too close attention to the exact placement of those showers. It's a different situation when you're dealing with a front or some kind of boundary moving in, but we're not dealing with that. We've just got good upper level support. So widely separated or scattered in nature downpours throughout the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Then we transition into Sunday, and this is important. It doesn't look like the heavy rain, just lighter rain. Still good coverage across our area. A good portion of South and Central Texas likely getting in on some of that activity, but I do anticipate it to be lighter and not the heavy downpours with the lightning and thunder. Highest accumulations likely to be south of San Antonio when you add it all up this weekend on into early next week. We could be talking 5 inches of rain closer to Maverick County, Dimmitt, LaSalle counties as well, and then lesser amounts as you head to the north. So that's a good way to kind of sum up what you can expect in terms of overall precipitation. Highest amounts likely just south of San Antonio. All right, let's talk about the tropics. And yes, nothing out there, nothing to affect any air travel or anything anytime soon. We do have an area of development that's likely to occur in the Atlantic, just outside of the Caribbean here. But even if this develops, it's likely to take that common turn northward closer to Bermuda, completely away from the United States. Hurricane Danielle, not an issue. That's a fish storm. It's staying off in the North Atlantic. 93 our temperature right now. Dew point is 65. 91 Rio Medina and Helotes. 94 in Converse. Seguin at 93 degrees. We start the day tomorrow at 75. 86 at noon. Should hit our high temperature around the noon hour. Then temperatures fall off a little bit as the rain chances rise later in the day. Then that lighter rain with kind of a damp day, I think, overall on Sunday, still mid-80s, and Monday, some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, especially into the afternoon. Then we drop off those rain chances as we progress into next week.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Big game coverage tonight, and it is much more
than just a game.
Let's go to Uvalde. Larry Ramirez joins us. Larry, you and Greg are going to have the call on all the streaming, KSAT streaming devices tonight. Set the atmosphere for me out there.
You know, the atmosphere is pretty cheerful, to be honest. People are here in a good mood. A lot of the folks working the game here for Uvalde are thanking us for coming out and covering this game and just telling us what a special night this is really going to be. So coming up, we're going to talk about Uvalde taking on EP win tonight, or CC win if you want to go for the name of their school. And Uvalde would tell you it's not just playing to win tonight. There is a deeper meaning behind it. And Justin Rendon, who's wearing jersey number 21, will tell us what it feels like to put that jersey on. This will give you chills, folks. Coming up. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the Honey Bowl in Uvalde, where tonight the Uvalde Coyotes will take on Eagle Pass Wynn in a non-district football game. Uvalde is 1-0 this season. Wynn is 0-1, and both teams are on the field behind me warming up as we speak. Now, Wednesday afternoon, we came out to Uvalde, and the team was forced to practice inside the gym due to heavy rain, leaving their field too wet to practice on, but that didn't seem to faze the team one bit. Uvalde is coming off a season-opening win at Carrizo Springs in their very first football game since the tragedy at Robb Elementary. An important win for them for sure.
It felt pretty good because opening season, and after everything, it felt pretty good, yeah.
Uvalde scored 21 points in their season-opening win at Carrizo Springs. A reminder of 21 lives cut short at Robb Elementary.
I didn't even notice it until somebody told me after the game. And then you think about it, and it's like, maybe something more than us is in charge out there.
We were on the bus ride home, and then I remember somebody mentioned it, and it was kind of crazy at the moment. Yeah, it was unbelievable for a minute.
As a football coach, I'd have rather been 41 than 21, but the kids thought it was really cool.
High school football is a team sport, so the Coyotes know all about coming together, and they say that's exactly what they're seeing from the good folks in Uvalde.
From what I noticed last game, it was an away game and stands were still packed. So that just tells me the community loves to stay together and support each other no matter what we've been through.
Everybody's gotten closer because of it and stuff like that. Everybody's been donating, do whatever they can to help.
We're doing the best we can to come together and to heal. And if we can just bring a little bit of joy for 3 hours every Friday night, that excites me to give these guys the opportunity to do that.
Coach Miller is proud of his guys for hanging tough during a very difficult time.
Just how resilient they are. These kids have come up here and they hardly missed a summer workout. They've done everything we've asked. And I think they kind of treat athletics like it's their sanctuary. They just want to come up here and be normal kids for a couple hours. And it's good for them. And I'm glad they're enjoying it. They're a super mature, super tight-knit group.
Tonight, Uvalde will honor the 1972 state championship team at halftime, led by head coach Marvin Gustafson. The squad went 15-0 with 7 shutouts to claim the 3A state championship. They dominated for sure and set the standard for the Uvalde football program. And Jerry Comalander, he was an assistant coach on that championship team, and he is expected to be here this evening. Joining me now is RJ Marquez. And RJ, about a month ago or so, you had a chance to come out here, talk to Uvalde football, in particular number 21, Justin Rendon.
That's right, Larry. It was the start of their fall camp, and the one thing that stuck out to me was that they didn't want to retire that number. They wanted to give it to a senior that embodied what the community is all about and the spirit of this community. Let's hear what Justin had to say about this great honor.
It'll be really emotional to put that jersey on and be able to run out in the field with it and everybody to see me wearing it. So it'll be real emotional.
We voted on him. Justin's always here. I can be honest, I'll miss here and there, but he'll never miss, no matter what. And he'll get mad at you, if you're not doing the right weight or if you're doing something wrong, he'll get on you.
I've showed to them that I'm a leader and that I put in the work.
Direct your attention to the track. It is so cool that the team and the coaches voted for Justin to wear number 21. That has to be so special for him. RJ, you're here tonight helping us live stream the game. What's your role here this evening with the crowd?
Yeah, Larry, we're just getting the emotions, the feelings around this first home game. We're going to be talking to some people out there in the stands to really see what they're feeling as everyone comes together for what's expected to be a very emotional night.
It is indeed. So Greg Simmons is calling the game. I'm going to do some commentary, and I can see Greg at the very top of the media box up there in his red shirt, so I'm going to have to get over there and join him. Guys, back to you in the studio. Yeah, I can't wait. By the way, you can live stream it on our YouTube channel, KSAT.com, the BGC app, many ways to live stream this game tonight between Uvalde and Eagle Pass Wynn.
And we're also going to talk to you about it on the Night Beat. Now, still coming up tomorrow is going to be NASA's second attempt to launch the Artemis rocket around the moon. Now, we're going to talk about what that means if they actually do it, what the impact could be on all of this. We'll be right back.
And the U.S. saw an uptick in the unemployment rate despite more than 300,000 new jobs. Why this is causing workers to push for higher wages. The U.S. economy continuing to add jobs in August. The unemployment rate remains near a 5-decade low.
Here's the thing, though. The headlines about layoffs and other economic data are really painting to a confusing picture and adding to Americans' economic uncertainty.
Karen Kafa breaks down the numbers, what they mean for job searchers and for our wallets.
It wasn't as hot as July, but the U.S. labor market posted a solid number of new jobs in August. Good news for job seekers, but creating a more complex economic outlook as the Federal Reserve tries to curb decades-high price inflation. The higher prices consumers feel everywhere from the grocery store to the clothing racks.
Even though this report is certainly more welcome news to the Fed that the economy may be finally starting to begin to slow, it's still nowhere near the kind of slowdown that is necessary to derail what it worries about as an underlying inflation in the U.S. economy.
The Labor Department said U.S. employers added 315,000 jobs in August, pulling back from July's revised 526,000. Neela Richardson, chief economist with ADP, says the drop-off in job creation is a labor market adjusting after so many pandemic-related ups and downs.
I think you'll continue to see that throughout the fall and into the new year, a labor market that has somewhat, not completely, returned to normal over time.
The unemployment rate ticked up slightly to 3.7%, but so did the number of Americans participating in the workforce. The demand for workers pushed wages higher, but not enough to keep pace with inflation.
Wages have not, for the average American, kept up with inflation. So a lot of the more downbeat sentiment is just the simple fact that the dollar isn't going as far as it used to, and that will continue.
The Fed's key tool for curbing inflation, higher interest rates, which aim to slow consumer and corporate spending by making borrowing money more expensive. Raising rates too high, too fast can risk a recession, but the strong jobs market, even with a late summer slowdown, may help tamp down that talk for now. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Now, recall alert. More than 14,000 strollers from Up-A-Baby are being recalled because of a potential risk of injury. The Consumer Product Safety Commission reports that the rear brakes on the company's all-terrain Ridge jogging strollers could pose a laceration or even an amputation threat. According to the CPSC, a child who wasn't in the stroller at the time had to have a fingertip amputated. The strollers were sold nationwide in numerous retailers, including Buy Buy Baby and Amazon. So if you have one, consumers should return the stroller for free replacement parts.
The U.S. National Park Service celebrating the end of World War II in the nation's capital today. The Park Service marked the 77th anniversary of Victory over Japan Day, also known as VJ Day, by hosting a wreath-laying ceremony. On September 2nd, 1945, Japan signed a formal surrender ending the war after 6 years of fighting. Germany had already surrendered on May 7th of that year, but Japan continued its resistance until the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan would agree to end the war days later.
Now to the ongoing court action following the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida home in Mar-a-Lago. A former judge has now released an expanded list of the items that were seized by those FBI agents. ABC's Ike Ajashi is in Washington with more.
Today, a federal judge releasing an expanded list of items seized by FBI agents during last month's search warrant executed on former President Trump's Florida estate. The list itemizes hundreds of government documents seized by investigators and explains where and how they were found. The Justice Department's inventory of items taken states some documents bore classification markings ranging from confidential to top secret and were intermingled with items like newspaper clippings, photographs, books, and clothing. In Trump's office alone, DOJ alleges there were 43 empty folders seized with classified markings. ABC News learned the FBI remains concerned there could be classified records still missing. After Thursday's high-stakes courtroom showdown, a judge is still deciding whether or not to appoint a special master, an independent person, to review the seized documents for any executive or attorney-client privilege conflicts. At the hearing, Trump's legal team comparing the hundreds of classified documents seized to overdue library books. DOJ lawyers were blunt, saying because he was no longer the president, he did not have the right to take those documents documents. They aren't his. On a radio program, Trump repeating claims he was not to blame for any top-secret documents leaving the White House.
You accumulate a lot of stuff over a term, and then all of a sudden you're leaving, and stuff gets packed up and sent. All sorts of stuff. You know, mostly the boxes, pictures and newspapers and shirts and gear and, golf balls, and it's a lot of stuff.
If the federal judge appointed by Trump rules in his favor, then lawyers on both sides will be offered to make suggestions as to who can review the materials. If not, Trump's legal team says they will appeal. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Some veterans will soon be able to obtain abortions no matter what state they live in. The Biden administration submitted a new rule. It's going to allow the Veterans Affairs healthcare system to provide abortions when the mother's life is at risk or in cases of rape or incest. Women will not be required to provide police reports or other evidence of rape or incest. Now, once published in the Federal Register, the policy is going to go into effect immediately while also being open for public comment for 30 days. And this new rule applies to all veterans and their beneficiaries covered under VA health plans.
NASA in preparations right now for their second launch attempt of the Artemis rocket. The changes made since Monday in hopes of a successful launch.
Welcome back. Now, all systems are go for tomorrow afternoon's second attempted launch of NASA's Artemis 1 mission. As you know, Monday's first launch attempt was scrubbed because of some technical issues.
Yeah, but repairs have been made. The weather forecast is favorable. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood reporting from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
The countdown is on for the launch of NASA's Artemis 1 mission Saturday afternoon. Weather conditions forecasted to be favorable.
With a little guarded optimism, we're set to go this weekend.
The launch has a 2-hour window beginning at 2:17 local time.
We've got a whole host of things that could cause us to not get off any given day, weather, range, or technical.
Monday's first attempt was scrubbed due to 2 issues. One of the 4 engines wasn't cooling down to the proper temperature, and there was a crack in the vent valve in the inner tank. Engineers have since repaired that crack and determined that the sensor on the engine was not working properly.
Right now, team has really just done a fantastic job getting us out of launch attempt number 1, repairing all the issues, and getting us into a safe configuration to proceed into tomorrow's launch attempt.
NASA is using a Space Launch System, or SLS rocket, to send the Uncrewed Orion space capsule on a 37-day mission to orbit the moon. It's all a part of NASA's Artemis program, which aims to establish a human presence on the moon by the end of this decade.
We're going back to the moon to land in a place that we've never landed before.
Anne McLean could be one of the astronauts on board when Artemis launches crewed missions.
You know, our long-term big goal is going to Mars, exploring places that we've never been before. Landing on the South Pole of the moon is going to test and develop technologies and teams that will enable that future mission.
And this Artemis 1 mission will fly a total of about 1.3 million miles. Now, if tomorrow's launch is called off for any reason, the next launch attempt will be on Monday. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News at the Kennedy Space Center.
All righty, now we're going to take a live look outside. This is near the airport. Looking at traffic there, it's going pretty smoothly, which is really nice considering it's the holiday weekend. 92 degrees right now. Adam, tell us what else we can look forward to.
Well, it looks like the high school football game should go off without a hitch this evening. Rain chances are pretty low. We're talking only 10 to 20% chance. Then they really ramp up into tomorrow, especially by the afternoon. But 93 degrees right now, calm wind. Temperatures 10 degrees cooler by 10 o'clock. So we'll be in the 80s this evening with very noticeable humidity. I'm going to get into more detail about when you can expect the heaviest rain tomorrow, what's going to change into Saturday, and who's likely to see the most rain in just a bit.
In the buzz, the Fireball Festival back in Burning Bright in El Salvador. Wednesday marked the 100th anniversary of the event. Doesn't it look fun? It's one of the first ones held in 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. El Salvadorians?
Yes. C.
Okay. Took part in the festivities by lighting gasoline-soaked balls of cloth and throwing them at each other.
Now, some say the Fireball Festival honors St. Jerome and his battle against the devil, but others say this is a commemoration of a volcano that erupted in 1658.
Kind of like a snowball fight, but very different.
Very different, a lot more dangerous, I
Yes.
think. All right. Well, if you don't have any Labor Day plans, here's an idea that's pretty easy on your wallet. You know, movie attendance really hasn't bounced back since the pandemic, so theaters across the country are doing something to lure their audiences back. Tomorrow, you can actually catch a flick on the big screen for just a few bucks. Major chains like AMC and Regal are pulling out all the stops because it's National Cinema Day tomorrow.
Tickets for all shows will be just $3. You can find a participating theater near you on the website nationalcinemaday.org.
Probably a good thing to do tomorrow also around the evening, right, Adam, if there's going to be rain?
Yeah, you know, I think the rain chances really increase tomorrow afternoon. So the second half of the day, you're more likely to have to dodge a few of those showers before you can venture back out. And Sunday, I think, just more of a damp day in general. So that's actually one of the weather headlines. Mainly afternoon showers tomorrow. Some periods of rain Sunday, Monday as well. The highest amounts are likely to be south of Highway 90. So when you add it all up over the next 3-4 days, south of San Antonio is likely to have the highest accumulations, where it could be another 5 inches or more. But of course, embedded downpours, even locally, could give us a few quick inches in the coming days. So let's talk about it, taking a look at the radar screen. We'll get to the big picture in a moment, but here's the localized view. And around San Antonio, we really don't have anything to talk about. It's all just off to the west of us, around Sabinal. I know it's not far from Uvalde. We've got the crews out there. We'll be streaming that game tonight, and it looks like that's still going to avoid Uvalde. No lightning associated with it, just a few very brief downpours that pop up, and they rain themselves out pretty quickly. They don't last very long, but they can kick out another outflow boundary, which then can generate another one farther to the north. So that's what we're seeing up near Sabinal and just east of Canipa at this time. You can actually probably see those towering clouds from Uvalde if you look off to the east. Otherwise, looking up I-10, you get into the hill country, especially around Junction. Some areas of rain there and over towards Sonora, but that's likely to stay out of our area. Very low-end rain chances here the rest of this evening. The only thing we're watching as well is this outflow boundary as it moves westward towards Seguin and even towards San Antonio. It might kickstart 1 or 2 showers over the next hour or so. So here's the big picture. Good to see rain across parts of the Lone Star State, West Texas, parts of East Texas as well. Big dip in the upper level flow, some energy coming on the back side of that with this northerly flow aloft. And that's going to be dropping in this weekend, enhancing our rainfall chances. Here's a look at our futurecast. And this is, I think, a pretty good representation, at least timing-wise and coverage of rainfall, of what you can expect tomorrow. First part of the day, I think, will mostly be dry. But when you get to 2-3 o'clock, the showers should really start developing pretty quickly and have pretty good coverage. Pretty good in terms of the quantity across our area. I'd say about half to just over half of South and Central Texas likely to get hit at some point tomorrow afternoon and even into the evening. Embedded downpours within this. This is 7 o'clock here. And I don't think these will be moving very quickly, which will then prolong the potential for some brief flash flooding, of course. That is a possibility within those downpours. We transition into Sunday, and I think it's going to be lighter rain, just more of a damp day. Low clouds, some periodic hit or miss light showers, but not a whole lot of the real heavy rain with the lightning and thunder. And as I said before, the highest rainfall potential is south of San Antonio and even south of Highway 90. Several inches possible over the next several days. But keep in mind, just 1 or 2 downpours over the same spot could give you the same amount of rain. This is just a generalized view of where most of the rain should be falling. So 60% Saturday afternoon and Sunday. We get into Monday, we're at 50% coverage, and then Tuesday, Wednesday down to 20-30%. As for our temperature today, well, we made it into the 90s, 94. The high temperature, the average being 93, the record 104, set back in 2000. 93 right now in town, Gonzales at 90, 94 in Cotulla, so upper 80s, low to mid 90s still, but temperatures falling off quickly into the 80s this evening. And by tomorrow morning, we start the day at 75, make it to 86 around the noon hour, and then temperatures fall off in the afternoon as those rain chances rise. Overall, through the weekend, there will be some dry periods. It's just we've got good soaking rain developing periodically, and those rain chances ramping up for the second half of the day tomorrow. That's what you need to keep in mind for Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Good morning. It is Friday, September 2nd.
Disturbing details in an apparent murder-suicide involving a family. According to the medical examiner, it looks like a mother strangled her 8-year-old daughter before stabbing herself. It happened on Tuesday in the 3900 block of Mickey Road on the far southeast side. According to a police report, the husband and father came home from work and found those two dead in the backseat of the wife's car. We've since learned their names, 8-year-old Aurelia Alvarado and 24-year-old Leticia Piscina Alvarado. Leticia actually previously worked at the Juvenile Probation Department along with her husband. They sent us this statement today. Quote, "The Juvenile Probation Department is deeply saddened by this tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and their loved ones."
A new proposed effort in San Antonio aims to help keep children safe and find them homes. City council members are proposing that newborn safety devices be placed at designated safe haven locations. These baby boxes would allow parents to safely leave their infant quickly and anonymously while removing the barrier of face-to-face interaction.
According to the latest government report, the U.S. added 315,000 jobs in August. That's higher than what many economists had expected, but it's still noticeably lower than the 526,000 positions in July.
Have you ever heard of the Texas Bushman? He is a prankster who has gone viral for his river walk scares.
Right, well, some of our team got to meet the man behind the bush, and he stopped by the station to do his thing, and the reactions were hilarious.
Here they are.
It's been a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here on the Night Beat.
See you at 10.